Welcome to the Tiny House Show. I think you're going to love what we have in store for you today. Usually we offer tours of tiny homes and unique homes, and we are going to do that. But today we have something very special. I can't tell you how many times I've answered the question, where can we put a tiny house? We'd love to have one, but we don't know where to park it or where we can locate it. We're going to show you a new tiny house village coming online that we think you're going to love. One thing you do need to know is that many of these tiny house lots fill up very quickly. So if you are interested in this location and this would work for you, particularly in the land of remote work, satellite access, and solar access, why not look at living in a place that's a little bit more rural where you can access the cities and towns you want, but live in a community of like-minded folks in your tiny house village. But in my last video, I promised that I would show you this new gardening system that we're putting in place. It's called the GreenStalk, and I have just set that up. I actually started in the front yard, decided it really needed to be on the deck. So you'll see two different kinds of video and one on the back deck where we finally finished it. It's so much easier for me to get there, get to it, and there's a lot of reasons that we think that's a better place for it. We will walk you through how we set it up and what we think we will be able to do with it. I'm convinced that we'll be able to grow pounds of food over the next seasons, probably 3 seasons, maybe even 4 seasons if I can ever get my greenhouse put up. And we hope to bring you along with that too. But for now, let's talk about GreenStalks, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff on their website that I think will help you understand what we're doing, and then I'm going to show you what I've planted. I've done some fruits, some veggies, some tomatoes, some pollinators, just to have a nice variety there. Y'all, this is the simplest system I think you can use. I have about 5 degrees of comfort. I'm either too cold or too hot, and Barry says he's going to write a book, 5 degrees of comfort, because I do not like being out in the hot and sweating. I do not like weeding and mulching and moving stuff, and we have plenty of land here on our location, but there's not plenty of bath to go around. There is some upfront cost with the GreenStalk. This is not cheap, but by the time you think about the amount of money you pay, particularly for organic food, $5 to $6 a pound for tomatoes or okra, or of course I'm not growing okra, but or squash, that can really add up. So the initial cost of your GreenStalk is the GreenStalk and the one you choose, and we'll look at that at the website, and also your soil and your soil mix. So let's go set up the GreenStalk. It doesn't require any tools. It doesn't require anything but a little bit of oomph. And if the bags of soil are a little too heavy for you, you can get someone to help you. That probably costs weight about 40 pounds. So getting somebody to come and help you, like a neighbor or a teenager, with the promise, if you will, of tasty treats, I think you could get some help if you needed to. First, let's talk about the different styles of GreenStalk. I'm going to jump to the website, show you what they have, what they recommend. Now, I purchased the terracotta color. We have a lot of blacks and grays going on here, and I think that terracotta sets that off nicely. But there's greens and reds and something new called a maple. And lastly, they have a pink stalk, I call it. It's pink, beautiful, soft pink, which would be beautiful for a Mother's Day gift, for instance. But the reality of that is when I messed with my GreenStalks and had dirt all over them, I realized how hard the pink one would be to maintain. So I'm just going to be happy with my terracotta. And if I add some more, I'll probably just be consistent with the terracotta color. I think it looks classic. And with a lot of the farmhouse accents that are cedar, I think it'll blend in. I am getting my GreenStalk planters out and going today. It's almost time. We're just getting near our frost date, the end of our frost date. So I filled the first GreenStalk, and I want to go over some basics. First off, this is a potting container mix that has a peat moss, perlite, and it's as much as possible I go natural. I had some bad experience last year, so I'm trying to stay natural / organic as much as I can. But there are some tricks about the GreenStalk planter, which I love, but there are some tricks that I want you to know. First off, I did order the spinner
And I do think that that really helps to be able to access it. I also have it really near the front of my house where I have my garden, so I can remember to water it and take care of it. We also put it on a concrete pad, first off, so we can move it a little bit if we want to, but mostly just to keep it level because we wanted to level this ground. We will move this eventually, and I know that after this season I will probably move this to a different location. It might be hard to see on the camera, but it says fill soil to top. Now that's something I'm going to go back and do, but as if you notice, I didn't fill this all the way to the top because there are some little feet underneath here. Can you see them? There's some little feet under here that need to hook on to these areas, and if you have too much soil, it's easy for them to get polluted and you can't get them quite on. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Now some people pre-fill them, and I will do some of the top ones and before they put it on, but I think for today, since this is lower, I will put this one on first and then fill it. So you just match the feet up with a little area right there. But see, it clicks on, so you want to make sure you can do that. Now I'll go back in before I plant and fill these up to the top. Another trick I discovered is that this little piece we don't want filled up with soil because that's the channel to run your water. So I'm covering it with a shot glass to keep soil from going down that little hole. You could use tape or something else, but I'm just using a shot glass because it was handy. I won't say whose shot glass it is, but I'm using the shot glass. Now luckily, oh, by the way, this is a natural mix, but it's a 40, hang on, it's a 40 quart, can you see that? It's a 40 quart bag, and the first bottom took about 3/4 of a quart. So it's gonna take me a little bit less than a bag per level. There are two different kinds of GreenStalks. One has a bigger, more pockets and less, they're smaller. I decided to go with the bigger one. And see, there's my shot glass coming into play. Okay, I have halfway filled my GreenStalk with organic potting soil, but it seems kind of heavy, and so I'm now deciding to add some peat moss to it. I'm working on a table on my deck because it's a lot easier than sitting on the ground and a lot easier than you know, bending over. All right, you see these roots? They have got to be broken up or they will go all the way around in your pot and they will be root bound. These are almost past due. Trying to break these guys apart so they won't just keep spinning around in a circle in my GreenStalk. See? So far so good. You can see my mess. That's okay. It's outside. I can just sweep it all off, but I'm not bending over and sitting on the deck. Much more comfortable for me. Okay, I had to get Barry to help me. That's kind of heavy. So I'm doing the first one probably on like that, and then the next one up. So I'm going to plant this one out, and then I want to make sure I show you the rain catchment system. Okay, make sure you put your, now I'm sorry it's dirty, my fingers are dirty, but make sure you put your, before you layer the next one, you put your water tray. As you can see, each GreenStalk has drainage holes in the bottom, and water comes down from above. I'll show you that in a minute. And then it runs down through all of the layers and then out the bottom on the wheeled cart, wheeled dolly, I guess we'd call it. Okay, so now I've got my plants. I'd like to set them out to see how they're going to look. As you can see, I've got my little rain catchment. So from the next layer, I've got some beans, some flowers, some tomatoes. And then now I want you to notice it's put together, but I want you to notice that upper reservoir at the top. Water tumbles down and fills the rest of the GreenStalk pockets. And then that's all you have to do is fill that top reservoir. I do love the fact that I can spin it, but more importantly, because this is in the corner in the deck, it gives me the opportunity to keep it in line with the sun. Now I'm going to give you just a little bit of real ambiance in the backyard with the dog and the chickens and an enjoyment of our back deck. This was an impetus to go ahead and get a new carpet for the deck, get some new furniture, and be able to use our deck in a new way. It's been kind of just a pass-through, but now with the GreenStalk out there, and I do walk out there every day. We started living outside, and we're just enjoying the deck in a whole new way because of our GreenStalk. So I couldn't be more pleased. If you notice, I have a little flower up at the top, and I use that to keep track of where my GreenStalk is sitting.
Enjoyed that. I'm going to put a link in the description for the GreenStalk website. We are not GreenStalk sponsors. This is my true and honest opinion. No ifs, ands, or buts about the product. But so far, it's been really working for us. And I can't wait to see my new little baby salad greens coming in. Now, if growing your own food is not your thing, I have become a Thrive Life consultant, which is freeze-dried food that last up to 25 years. We eat this daily, and we also have food set aside in our long-term storage for our pantry, and there is so much variety. They are picked at their peak of freshness, processed on the farm, freeze-dried, and then shipped. So all the waste and all the weight that things would have from being shipped are condensed down into a very light product. Now this is one of our May specials. It's pepper jack cheese. Oh my God, this is amazing. I have a hard time resisting it. It is just cheese, cheese and milk. Obviously milk's made from cheese, but on the back it says cheese and milk. But it is delicious. I'm just gonna take a little taste and try to describe it to you. It's like this, it's shredded. Oh, I usually leave the oxygen absorbers in first. You can tell I've been eating it a little bit, but it is crunchy, delicious, and tastes just like pepper jack cheese. On the can it tells you it's good for 25 years, unopened. And by the time you open it, most of these will last about a year if they've been opened. Clearly this one's not going to last a year because I'm going to end up eating it. So that's the pepper jack cheese. That is on sale. So if you'll text the word sale, you'll see the number at the bottom of the screen. We'll be able to get you some information and my shopping link so you can shop with me if you decide you want to try some pepper jack or some of our other freeze-dried products. Now Barry's going to give you a quick tour of the new tiny house community we've talked about, and then I'll be right back.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our look at a tiny house community that is currently under development. Today we're exploring an incredible hidden gem in Rutherfordton, North Carolina, the Poplar Creek Tiny House Village. This unique community is not just about minimalist living, it's about maximizing life and that less can indeed be more. About an hour from Asheville, North Carolina, and 35 minutes from both Hendersonville and Shelby, downtown Rutherfordton has several historic inns, some innovative restaurants, and some quaint shops. It's also in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains and only about 25 minutes or so to Lake Lure and Chimney Rock State Park. Poplar Creek Tiny House Village offers a peaceful retreat from the hustle and bustle of city life. Each home here is a marvel of modern architectural design and sustainability. Each of these tiny houses is designed with efficiency and style in mind. They range from about 250 to 400 square feet, and you'd be surprised at how spacious they feel inside. You can bring your own tiny house or work with one of their tiny home builders. Despite their size, these tiny houses are packed with all the essentials: high-efficiency appliances, built-in storage, and large windows that not only bring in natural light, but offer stunning views of the surrounding nature and beautiful countryside. But living tiny doesn't mean you miss out on amenities. The village features communal spaces where residents can socialize, a central fire pit for bonfires and gatherings, nature trails, and even community gardens. So we are at the Carolina Tiny House Festival in Concord, North Carolina, and we're looking at tiny houses. So tell us your name and what you do here.
Hi, my name is Deidre, and I am a real estate developer, and I am here on behalf of my project, Poplar Creek Tiny Home Village. Poplar Creek is a tiny home community that's coming online in the western part of North Carolina, about 45 minutes from Asheville and about an hour and a half from Charlotte, where we are today. We are going to have 30 home sites when the project is complete, but we are targeting it in 2 different phases. So phase 1 is going to have 10 sites, and phase 2 will have 20 home sites. And so it's on 10 acres. You lease a lot from us. The great thing is that you can bring your own tiny home. You don't have to purchase through us, but if you do want to purchase through us, we're sitting in the model of Dragon Tiny Homes right now, and they are one of our partners. We're actually working with them to create a custom 32-foot model that's going to be exclusive to Poplar Creek. So if you are looking for something slightly bigger than the model we're in today, we can definitely help you with that. But you also can bring in any tiny home from any manufacturer that you choose, as long as it's certifiable, as long as it has insurance, and as long as it's tiny home on wheels. And so we hope to open in about 8 weeks. We are still completing our infrastructure for our development. And when we do, we will be excited to welcome residents who are looking for a place to park their tiny home.
It's easy to see why so many people are choosing to downsize their lives but upscale their lifestyle here at Poplar Creek Tiny House Village. If you're interested in learning more about tiny house living or this particular community, check out the links in the description below. Thanks for joining me on this tour of Poplar Tiny House Village. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might find it interesting. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.
That's a wrap, folks.
But if you want to see the chicken salad recipe she did, click here.
Click here, click there, click over there.